Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another episode of Snowy Stories. So in today's episode it's going to be a very story based episode, so if you do like those episodes you will probably enjoy this one. So we just have Tsuki here just eating some breakfast. Obviously in the last episode, which was a long time ago, oh yeah, and we're in new house now. In the other episode, which was a long time ago, like 3 weeks ago, sorry it's been so long, but she obviously had her first kiss with, I forgot his name, Aoki. She had her first kiss with Aoki, and now we are in the new house, which I'm so excited for, and we're playing with her new makeover. But Tsuki is just like, she's just chilling, but when she actually came here, the builders told her that there is actually something in the garden that they found. So the builders actually told her that there was something in the garden, as I said, and it's actually a little bottle with a little message in it. And they said, we're going to keep it here. Like when we were, digging up the ground and stuff, obviously they found it, and they just decided, what, we're just going to like keep it here. That it means nothing to us, so like you can have it basically. So Suki is just a bit like, why is there a message in a bottle? I want to know what it says. So I'm going to get her to come over here and just read the message that's in the bottle, and let's see what it says. So here she comes over here and she's just reading, I'm guessing she's reading the message. Oh, she read the message in the bottle and it says, "The endless waves crash to and fro, who this reaches I may never know. Do your eyes sparkle as you read this? The thought of my rose smiling makes me feverish. I hope you feel the same as I, that our hopeful love may never die, and that if you should ever find your way here, you have a heart and a home and endless cheer." Which is where this says, Liam Chi, and there's a reason for this. So Tsuki is going, like, if this is signed with Liam Chi, she knew that her dad's name before he got married to her mum was actually Chi, and that was his last name before he got married. So she's like, do I think maybe this person might be related to me? So she's gonna take this, I think. I think she can take it, yeah. We're gonna put that in her inventory, so she's gonna take that. And yeah, so now she has a little message in a bottle, and she's sort of thinking, does this mean that like someone from someone in my family? Like I didn't know that my dad has never said like anything about his sort of like side of the family. Like what does that, I don't know why she's on her phone right now. My dad's never said anything about his side of the family, like that makes no sense. How could anyone be like have his name? And like she's sort of thinking like, how has this happened, So she's gonna call her mum, and she's gonna call her mum and just be like, hey, I was thinking of coming around. Do you mind if I just like stop by? And her mum is like, yeah, just come. We miss you here in San Myshuno. Like you should come over from Mount Komorebi. We all miss you here so much. And she's sort of like, okay, well I'm coming over today, and yeah, but her mum doesn't know that Suki has something she wants to talk to her about. So we're going to bring our message in the bottle and we're going to go to Suki's parents' house. So we are here at Suki's parents' apartment in San Myshuno, and she is just sitting in the... she is just in the hallway right now. So we are going to knock on the door. I forgot which one her parents... Yeah, here we go. So she's going to come and knock on the door. I can't believe she just went out right then. It's also Harvest Fest, so this is quite good, because then she can spend some time with her family for Harvest Fest. So she's going to knock on the door, and they have obviously let her in. I'm actually going to change her outfit real quick. So there we go. And obviously, as you can see, her dad is here, and we also have her brother here. But her dad is here, so she's just going to come over and talk to him, just maybe like tell an engaging story. Also, her mum's here. So this is actually I haven't shown this, but this is her parents' apartment where they live with their brother, her brother, and yeah, they live here. You know, there's a lot of room for them. So yeah, I just thought, you know, it was a perfect apartment for them. I did not make it. It's just the one that comes pre-made in the game. So they just sat down here having a nice chat. So obviously Suki's just catching up with her family. She has been in Mount Komorebi for, I'd say, probably about like 6 months now, maybe a bit longer than that. So she has not had a lot of time to catch up with her family. So they're just like talking. And then her mum, I don't know where her mum's gone. Oh, she's over here. She was cooking stuff. Oh yeah, because it's 11 a.m. So they're still having breakfast. So maybe we should just say hi to her mum. Yeah, just have a deep conversation with her mum. So she's gonna, does she need a toilet? Oh yeah, she does. Okay. She's just gonna have a conversation with her mum, and then she's gonna be like, can I talk to you over here? Because she wants to talk to her mum about the note that she found, because she knows that is her dad. That was her dad's name before he got married. And maybe she's sort of thinking like, I never really thought about this, but like, he changed his name when he got married to my mum. So maybe she's thinking a bit about that. So they're just over here having a little conversation. This table is very big, so they're very far apart, but sure, they're having a nice conversation. So they're just like talking, you know, obviously as I said, she's like catching up with her parents. She hasn't had a lot of time, you know, with her parents since she moved. So she literally hasn't seen them at all. So she's just really catching up with them. I don't know what she just put on the TV, but sure. Her mum's here. This is her mum, by the way. Please don't get... Okay, she just got up. It's fine. This is her mum, by the way. So there's Suki's mum. And I think she's like, look, mum, can you like just like come over here a second? Because I need to talk to you for a bit. So she's going to come into the kitchen with her mum. Okay, she just needs to go to the toilet because apparently both of the bath... Okay, let's go in this one with her that has her dad in it. And then she can go and talk to her mum. Okay, they are not listening to me, but it's fine. It's fine. Of course, this likes to happen to me. Okay, her mum's in the toilet too. Okay, then I'm just gonna get them to come over here, and then they can talk. Of course, this happens when I'm trying to be all like cinematic and stuff. Okay, her mum is here. So, oh yeah, I forgot her mum's pregnant. I think they can have another baby. So they are actually having another baby, but she's just gonna come over here and talk to her mum and maybe like ask about stuff, I guess. Maybe, you know, give her a hug and then talk to her about this, like talk to her about Mount Komorebi, and then sort of, I think she would sort of bring up the note that she found, and she's gonna be like, what is this note, you know? So there we go. She's giving her a hug, and you know, we love family hugs. I think Suki's definitely very close to her family. So she's just, you know, asking how she's been doing and all that stuff, and obviously how the pregnancy's been going, because I forgot, but her mum is actually pregnant, so that's pretty cool, I guess. But maybe she's just like asking now, she's like, you know, what is this note? Like, I know, like, it says that, like, it was Dad's, I remember you saying that was, like, Dad's surname. Like, that's definitely Dad's surname, right? So she's just thinking, she's just, you know, asking her mum about that. Like, I thought that he'd never talked about his family before. I never really thought he had, you know, siblings, or, you know, he never talked about his parents. And she's just sort of thinking, like, what's been going on with Dad's side of the family? Did anything, like, you know, why have you never told me about this before? And her mum, you can't see her, but I think she's slightly stressing out right now. She's like, oh God, like, this is why we moved away, and like, she's just sort of thinking, how am I supposed to tell her and stuff? So I think she would just tell her now, and that she's going to tell her the story. So she's just going to basically tell her this story about why, you know, why she found this letter with a love letter with the same name as, you know, her what used to be her dad's surname. And it was basically that, I'm just going to explain the story to you guys. Her dad, Akio, had a sibling called Liam, and Suki's never known about this. Like, they never really told them about it, and that's because Liam was with somebody from the Nakajima family. And if you guys know Nakajima, this is Yuri, and her husband is Kakashi, and they are the Nakajima family. And Kakashi had a brother who was Kakashi had a brother. Oh, Yuri had a kid with Donatello. Okay, that's great, guys. Thanks for messing up my story. Basically, Yuri's husband Kakashi had a brother called Komi, and Komi was with. Let me go to the family tree for this. Komi. If we go here to Akio's genealogy, you will see that there is a deceased Liam Chi on here. So Liam basically was with Komi, who was Kakashi, the Nakajimas. They were like, happy and stuff, and they like got along and everything, and they all lived in Mount Komorebi. And Liam and Komi were, they were together. They were planning their lives together. They were getting ready to move. They were getting ready to move away to the city and start their life and everything. And they thought, what's one last thing we can do in Mount Komorebi? What's one last thing we can do to sort of say goodbye to Mount Komorebi and start our lives? And they thought, we can climb the mountain on Mount Komorebi. And they were very in love, and they both did it, and they wanted to climb Mount Komorebi, and they tried to climb Mount Komorebi. But as you can see here, it says that it was death by freezing. So basically what happened was, it was a bad day on the slopes, and obviously they weren't experienced, so they didn't know that it was a bad day to go climbing. And unfortunately there was an avalanche, and they both obviously passed away, both of them, Komi and Liam. So I'm going to put up pictures of Komi and Liam together when they were alive. I'm going to put up pictures just so you guys know what Komi looks like, and what Liam looks like. As you can see here, you can only see him the tiniest bit. But yeah, so that's what happened to them, and they they died in the avalanche. And both of the families, Nakajima's and Tsuki's family, the Kantus, they ended up not liking each other after that, because they both sort of blamed each other, and they blamed the other person's brother. Like these guys, the Kantus, were blaming obviously Komi for the death of the death of his brother. He would sort of jump to that conclusion, like who was responsible for it, but it was just like a horrible accident. So yeah, that is the whole reason why Tsuki's parents brought her out of Mount Komorebi. I'd say this was maybe a few years before Tsuki was born. I think I'm gonna go with that, like maybe 2 or 3 years before Tsuki was born, those events happened. And then they were still in Mount Komorebi then, but when Tsuki got older, they just thought it got sort of worse with the families sort of fighting and stuff, and they were like, this is not going to go very well, so we're just going to bring our family out of Mount Komorebi, and we're going to go and live in San Myshuno, which is, I'm going to say, the city. Just Mount Komorebi is more like countryside, and the city is sort of the center of the country they live in. In my law, this is the same country as Mount Komorebi. So that is the reason for it. And obviously they did end up having another kid. They had Tio, but yeah, that was definitely later. But they brought their family out of Mount Komorebi. They were like, we can't stay here. Obviously the Nakajimas, as you guys know, they did stay in Mount Komorebi. They stayed there, and they stayed there, and they so it wasn't really awkward, because they were both in different countries, and like these guys definitely did blame blame Liam, who was Suki's dad's brother. So this was Suki's uncle, and you know, Suki's sort of like, you know, where's her mum? Where did her mum go? Oh, hello? Her mum left. I don't know where she went, but we're gonna pretend she's still like, you know, she's just sort of like, what you know, she didn't even know she had an uncle. You know, obviously that she had an uncle, I think, maybe on her mum's side, but she didn't even know that she had any sort of family on her dad's side. So obviously she looks happy right now, but she's just sort of like how did I not know about this? And she's just like sad, you know. She's thinking like, I can't believe that they never made it to the top of Mount Komorebi because there was an avalanche. And she's sort of thinking, maybe in honor of them, I can climb Mount Komorebi. Obviously, she lives in Mount Komorebi, and she's sort of thinking that anyway. She was thinking, you know, how can I, you know, how I'm gonna, like, she wanted to do that anyway in her life, and she was like, I do, you know, one day want to climb Mount Komorebi. So she's thinking, like, this is a good opportunity to learn how to do rock climbing and learn how to climb, and like honor my uncle that I didn't even know I had and his boyfriend, and climb Mount Komorebi to the top, you know. So yeah, that's what Suki's thinking right now. So I hope you guys like that little story. I think she will go, when she goes back, she will go and talk to the Nakajimas, and she will go and like be like, hi, I don't know if you knew me, but I think they did know about her. They did meet her as a kid, I think. Like they did definitely see her, and they knew about her. They knew that they'd had a kid, and it was Suki, what do you do? Oh my god, I can't with this girl. Okay. We're gonna go back home, and then maybe she will want to speak with the Nakajimas. So we are back in Mount Komorebi, and obviously she doesn't really know the Nakajimas. She doesn't know, you know, them well enough to be able to just call them over. So I think we are actually gonna get her to just go over to their house, which she knew was close to her, and well, apparently not close enough because we can't even go there. So. Great times. Oh no, I think we can, right? Oh no, it's over here, sorry. So she can see, this is actually the Nakajima's house, so this is where they live. So she's just thinking, you know, okay, there we go. I was so confused. I was like, what do you mean move in from the gallery? There's people that live here. But she's just like, you know, she knew that they lived there, so she's just going to go and see them and sort of try and speak to them. So here we are, and I mean, I didn't mean for Komi to be here, but I don't really play with ghosts in The Sims, so maybe he's here in her imagination. So this is actually, well, this is what Komi looks like in a ghost form. There you go. But I'm just gonna, like, can you just go away, man? Like, just go away. We're just gonna make sure that that's okay. So, obviously, they had kids too. They had Nora, and obviously they were born after her and Tio. So, they're a bit more, you know, they're not as old, and they had the kids a bit later. So we're just gonna knock on the door and be like, you know, she obviously she doesn't know these people. Like, she just found out that she's like sort of related to them in some way, but they're not related. I don't mean that by blood, but I mean like she's related relationship wise in some way. Oh yeah, and they have a child. Okay, we're gonna ignore that she had a child with Don Lothario. I can't actually see their dad, which is sad because he's who I wanted to talk to. But she's gonna come over here to Yuri, and obviously she doesn't know Yuri very well, and she's gonna sort of be like, discuss interests maybe, and maybe just, you know, ask about what happened, like other sim. Can I ask about another sim? She's just gonna sort of say like, hey, I'm Suki. I don't know if you knew that. And she's like, oh yeah, what? you're the Cantu's kid, right? And she's like, yeah, but obviously, Yuri sort of, both the families sort of formed an alliance in a way. Like they both said that when they're never going to tell their kids about what happened to Komi and Liam. So she just sort of, she's still in that like, she knows, she's trying to talk to me, but she doesn't know that. But I think that Suki has mentioned it, and Yuri is like, look, like, obviously you found out in some way. I don't know if your parents told you, but like, yeah, I don't know how you found out, but yeah, that's what happened, and we were both families were really distraught, and we just didn't want to put that sort of thing onto our kids. We didn't want to make them sad, so we both said, we're not going to tell our kids about this. And I think her kids are actually right here. Where are they? Oh, yeah. So I think they're listening. Yeah, they're listening to it too. They're like, wait, mum, we have an uncle. So I think they're a little bit too young. They don't really, understand fully. But Suki is just still talking to her and asking, like, what happened? Like, I'm just so, like, confused as to how I have a... Okay, pretend she didn't leave. I'm just so confused she's like, I'm so confused as to how, I have an uncle and I didn't even, know about it. I'm like, in my head, Suki's maybe like 21, 22 at this point. She's like, I've lived like 21 years and I don't even, I didn't even know I had an uncle. So I think she's just a bit like, this is crazy. Like, how is this happening? And she knew about Yuri before, and she was like, how did I not know that this happened? And I think Suki's just a bit like in shock as to how this had happened. And obviously what Suki does when she's in shock and apparently tired is she reads a book. She loves reading. Reading is like her comfort. So she's just reading a book right now, and she's just thinking, how am I gonna deal with this? Like, I just wanna. She's sort of like, I wanna get to the top of Mount Komorebi now, and this is like a whole family. Like they have a whole family. I don't want to ruin their sort of family life. And she's like, look, they have a new baby, and they have 2 kids. I'm gonna get her to introduce herself to the kids. How did she introduce herself to them? Oh, does the game automatically make them know each other? Because they were like their parent. Oh no, I don't know this girl. Rania and Nora, that's their kids. So she's just gonna introduce herself to the kids and be like, hi, like, what's up? I was like, my uncle was kind of like friends with like your uncle. Yeah, cool. But yeah, so I still think Suki is sort of still in shock about it, and like just thinking like what is happening, like what am I gonna do? But she needs to go to bed because it's 9 p.m. Okay, we are back at the house, and yeah, so I think she is just gonna go to sleep. Well, she needs some hygiene and some hunger, so I'm just gonna get her to take a shower and then go to bed. But I hope you guys like my story that I decided to do, and that, I hope you guys like that sort of story that now she sort of knows why her parents never liked Mount Komorebi. And it's sort of like, I think it gives her a lot of closure, because she didn't really know why, they took her out of Mount Komorebi. They just said it was because it wasn't nice, and like you shouldn't go there because it's like just not a very nice place to live. But then she moved here and she was like, oh wait, this I love it here. It's so beautiful, and it's so like it's such a lovely place to live. Like, why would they ever think that it's not? And I definitely think she's sort of thinking that, and thinking, that's what she used to think, like, why would they not like it here? Like, it's really nice. So now she sort of has that closure on why her parents never liked it, and why her parents took her out at such a young age. I'd say they took her out when she was a toddler, maybe almost a child. So she definitely had some really nice memories of, Mount Komorebi, and, sledding with her parents, and doing all the fun stuff that you do in Mount Komorebi. And yeah, I definitely think this gives her some closure on why, why it's like that. So I think I'm gonna end this episode. So I know this was, a little bit of a shorter story focused episode, but yeah, I just really need to get this story stuff out of the way. So she is obviously a bit miserable, I hate that how I was supposed to do that, by the way. She's obviously a bit miserable right now because she's just sort of thinking like that's so like sad what happened to them, and I think this is a really good drive. I wanted to get something. I didn't see Suki as a person who would climb a mountain, but now this has sort of given her a chance and like a reason to climb Mount Komorebi, and I wanted to do that with her story anyway, and maybe we can climb it with someone else, maybe a little special someone. But yeah, I'm so excited to see where the story goes next. This episode, I'm sorry it's taken so long, but it took a lot of preparing with the story, and I had a whole different story planned before, and I don't know how long this episode is going to be, but if it's a bit shorter, then I'm sorry as well, but it may not be. I don't know how much content I actually got, but I hope you guys like the story I went with. I really like the whole like the uncles were like together, and then they passed away obviously, and they like blamed each other. They blamed the other family. They blamed the other person in that relationship from the other family for the death of their uncle and their brother, and it just sort of worked out like that, and that's why she was born out of Mount Komorebi as a child. So I think this would definitely push on Suki's story quite a lot, and like thinking, is this how I'm gonna like, I really want to know what the whole mountain thing, and yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It was a bit of a different episode for me. I definitely do not do these sort of story based ones. I mean, both of my let's plays are both like story based, but yeah, so it definitely wasn't a lot of gameplay, but this was actually a whole day in Sims time. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Please feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!